hitting the button. We're streaming shortly.
All right. Hang on just a second. What in the what? What in the what?
What's your break now?
Oh, nothing. I was trying to log into Patreon and it was being a jerk. Now it is. Now we're in there.
I love it. I've got that stuck in your head now.
Now the Mario Dr. Mario theme is in my head, so thank you. Which is that happens very frequently. So that stupid fever music is just
Once I don't remember when I did it, but it was an old roundtable episode I did. Uh, we we ended up calling somehow they called me Dr. Jesse for something I said or did. So I ended the show with me playing a little bit of Fever on the cello, and threw that in the as a stinger.
there you go.
Boom, boom,
I didn't
boom,
know
boom,
you
boom, boom,
played the
boom.
cello.
No, that's so that's
I'm very
awesome.
I'm very rusty. I haven't played it in a while, but I still dabble from time to time.
Marty, do you play an instrument?
No. I
Ah.
sing.
Well, okay, right. We're going to have to record our own pieces, but we're going to have to record the Ballad of the Windfish now.
Do we have all six instruments?
What do you play?
For everything.
Seriously?
Yeah, I've got guitars, bass, synthesizers, the kazoo.
I feel like every week on here we learn something about you. Like last week we learned you're a closet rap fan.
Oh yeah, I I should really love rock rap. Unfortunately, I think Rage Against the Machine was probably the only band who did it well.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fair assumption.
Right, ready?
Gary gonna give it to you.
Gary gonna give it to you. Yeah. It's all about the G things, baby.
All right, yeah, we're ready.
Ready? Yeah. Right. What episode was 230? Welcome to Nintendo Dads episode 230, recorded on May the 16th, 2019. And on today's episode, we're talking swinging claws, seesaws, angry suns, but more importantly, slopes and angles. So, Jesse, let's get started on this Mario Maker blowout.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Marty here, and you're listening to episode 230 of Nintendo Dads. We want to thank you for tuning in. It's May 16th, 2019, and we are recording on the heels of a tiny yet huge Super Mario Maker 2 Direct that Nintendo released yesterday, coincidentally on my birthday. Joining me tonight, straight from the United Kingdom, he is a multi-instrument musician, a closeted rap fan, and yes, it really is 4 a.m. where he lives. It's Gary Gray.
Thank you, and happy belated birthday, Marty.
Thank you. I
Hope you enjoyed your day.
It was, you know what? It was one of the best birthdays in a while, honestly. And it wasn't just the Mario Maker 2 thing. It was, Aaron and I, our birthdays are separated by one day.
Oh, wow, that's
So
cool.
she's the 14th and I'm the 15th. So, but now for that one day, she is 2 years older than me. And so we threw her a big, or I did. Well, I don't say I did. I took a lot of people. Her parents and I and one of our good friends helped throw her a surprise birthday party this year. So it was really
Nice.
fun. That was this past weekend, and it was like genuinely we surprised her, which never happens because she is super smart and figures a lot of things out. But anyway, yeah, it was a great day. It's been a great week. Also joining us this week, you know what? Let's back up. Let's rewind. I talked so much about my birthday. Let me ask you how you were. How are you, Gary?
I'm pretty good.
I know you're busy right now because
Yeah, I'm extremely busy. Still hardly playing any games, but hey, I spend more time a week now talking about them, so it's becoming a thing.
indeed it is. Welcome to adulthood.
Yeah.
Speaking of adulthood, we're also joined tonight by Mr. Jesse Waldack. How are you, Jesse?
I'm good. Yeah, my daughter is continuing to learn what it is to be an adult. So she moved out a while ago, earlier this year. She asked me to order a package for her because I have Amazon Prime, so she gets it faster. But I have her debit card information, so she's still paying for it. I'm just processing the order and having it sent to her house. It was delivered through UPS, but for some reason it required a signature. No idea why. It's a $20 swimsuit, but it required a signature and no one was home, so it couldn't be delivered. We're like, okay, have fun with this one.
Hey, I'll throw you a good one today. I ordered a watch band for my Apple Watch and it required a signature.
Wow.
Because it was delivered via UPS. The
only thing I've ever needed a signature for was like when I ordered something $400 or more.
Yeah. Yeah, like Apple products, phones, iPads.
I can understand.
Like
well, the Apple, a watch band, that's pushing it a little.
Yeah, but
it
is.
$20 swimsuit, really?
But I mean, it's a nice watch band. It's one of those knockoff Sport Loop for the Apple Watch.
Yeah,
that's
I
cool.
Still have.
Well, I pay $50 when you can pay $10.
When I used my daughter's Apple Watch for a while, I bought my own band because I didn't like the one she had. And I like.
Oh, you got the Milanese Loop.
Yeah, this is an imitation one. This isn't the real one from Apple.
You know,
that costs $150.
I had an imitation one that I really liked until one day I clapped my hands like this, and my Apple Watch went one way and my hands went the other. The clasp just broke.
This one always held up, but I didn't really ever find a good use for the Apple Watch, so I stopped using it and gave it back to her, and I think she sold it off, but I still kept the band just in case I ever buy another one.
Speaking of finding a use for things, we hope that you find a use for the show this week. We're about to dive in to our news section. We're going to break down Nintendo's Super Mario Maker 2 Direct yesterday, as well as news out of Japan about Nintendo's sales figures for the Switch, newly released NES games on Nintendo Switch Online, and a whole lot more. So let's get right into it, shall we? And of course, as always, our news this week is brought to us by you, our good fans, over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for as little as $1 a month, you can change the world. And you can do things like comment each and every week on our topics and questions posts and get featured on the show, or be part of our Discord channel, where, yes, for $1 a month, you get access to the Animal Crossing Plaza in Discord, including our monthly mayhem. And by the way, let me insert this here. Monthly mayhem for the month of May is almost over. You have 2 days left to submit your Cuphead scores in the monthly mayhem score channel there in Discord. And has been, look, y'all, I beat Cuphead and I felt pretty proud of myself. And then I went and looked at the other rankings.
Like Mole?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to say his name because I feel like if you say his name 3 times, it's like Beetlejuice, and he appears and he wrecks you at a video game and then disappears and goes somewhere else. So yeah, I mean, he's dominating. It's really it's fascinating. But anyway, you can submit those over there, and again, it's not just a typical whoever did the best wins. It's
and he's laughing in the chat now.
Your accomplishments earn tickets that then enter you in a raffle for eShop giveaway. And that's how we're doing our eShop giveaways now, guys. We're still going to be giving away some eShop cash every month, but it's going to come through monthly mayhem. And right now, over on the Discord, you can go vote for the next monthly mayhem game. And I thought it was going to be like something crazy or something brand new, No. This month's selections are either Downwell, which is right now available on the Nintendo eShop for $3, or a brand new game that is coming out very soon. I believe it's coming out this week. It may have already launched, called Skelly Celeste. And
What?
it's like a roguelike dungeon crawler type thing with 8-bit graphics. Both of them are really cheap. Both of them are infinitely replayable. I love Downwell. I think it's a great competition game. Not
Skelly
trying to
comes.
influence the vote.
Skelly comes out next Friday, the 24th,
Is
for ten
did I
dollars.
did I say that right? Is it Skelly Celeste?
Looks like it. It's Celeste with an S, not with a C, like the other game.
Yeah,
But yes,
Skelly
that's
Celeste. Maybe that's the way you pronounce it. But anyway, those two games are the ones you can vote for, and you need to vote this weekend for that. So head on over to Discord. If you're not a patron, how about becoming a dollar patron this weekend and jumping in over there and getting in some monthly mayhem scores and also being able to participate in next month's as well with the vote. Thank you so much to all of our patrons for all that you do for us. Let's dive right into the news. The biggest news this week, of course, is Super Mario Maker 2. Nintendo finally took the lid off of this game in a 15-minute direct that was posted or released on May 15th, which is kind of ironic. And they, man, talk about pulling back layers. They gave us all types of things, brand new features, brand new modes, brand new online capabilities, pre-purchase promotions, and way more. And so we're just going to start at the top of our list, which would be the top of the direct, and run down these. And as we get to the end of each section, we'll kind of stop and comment and talk about some of the things that in there that are good. And so, of course, we already knew slopes were coming in Mario Maker 2. What we didn't know is that 2 angles of slope were being unveiled. You have your traditional downward slope, and then you have a gentle slope
I
as
think
well.
we knew that. I think we did know.
Did we know about gentle?
It wasn't specifically pointed out, but if you watch the videos and did the kind of little analysis of what you saw.
I guess I just thought that they were all like under one heading. You know what I mean? Like you could just get in there and just draw a slope and it would be done.
Yeah, like they have I think they do like a 45 degree and a 30 degree for your two
so
angles.
Those are coming in. Also, we had already seen this, and some of the stuff we had already seen kind of like in promotional posters and standees in stores, and it had already kind of been blown before Nintendo put this out. Angry Sun is in the game from Super Mario 3. It looks like he will also be able to change styles between Mario Brothers and New Super Mario U, which, by the way,
that's creepy looking.
Prior to this direct, there was no confirmation that the new Super Mario Brothers theme was in the game. Everyone was thinking it had been replaced by 3D World. But now we see that New Super Mario Brothers is indeed in the game, as well as Mario 3, Mario World, and Super Mario Brothers. Angry Sun will be usable, and all those snake blocks are in, and those will go at 2 speeds. There's a red snake block that or green snake blocks that is slower, a blue snake block that is speedier. On and off switches will be available, and they can do several things like make walls appear and disappear. They can change track directions. They could do a lot of stuff. It looks like those will be really, really useful for puzzle levels. As Gary mentioned in the intro, seesaws are in the game, and those can be put on tracks where they'll like move along, and you'll have to seesaw them back and forth and not die. And then a swinging claw, like a claw game, swinging claw.
Yeah, is that like completely new? I don't think I've ever seen that in any other game.
I wanted to pause here and I wanted to talk about this. Where has this been in a Mario game?
I don't know. It's new to me.
Other than the only thing that I can think of.
Ebosel says the floor is lava.
The only thing that I can think of with the claw is that Mario Land 2 has a claw minigame where you pick up items at the end of each level if you can ring the bell.
Huh.
And so I don't know if it's that or if this is just, hey, let's throw this in here and see if it works. And obviously it does. It looks like a really cool dynamic. Again, you jump, the claw catches you, and you're able to swing back and forth, and then you can jump off there and get different heights. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of levels where it's going to be just claws, from one end to the other, and you're going to have to
Well,
hang
no.
on to each one. Um, what I find interesting about
While
that
collecting
is,
red coins.
oh, sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Um, what I find interesting about that is why they did not use the vine instead.
Like a swinging vine?
Yeah, because I mean, there is a precedent for a swinging vine because New Super Mario Brothers has had those
Well,
before.
with a claw, the claw item can hold an item to start with that'll
That's
drop when
true.
you run under it.
Yeah, I mean, it will. You can run. I mean, they had made a very rudimentary claw game in the preview that you could see there. So it's not just for catching Mario. It can hold enemies and items as well. They showed off dynamic water effects, which we knew were pretty much coming at three different speeds that waters can rise and lower, as well as a starting point for water and an ending point. Some of the level can have water, some of the level can't. There's lots that you're going to be able to do with that. They also showed in this that you are going to be able to, and I don't see this in your notes, Jesse, so I'm going to kind of go ahead and talk about this, is that if you draw a line of boxes or draw a line of ground or whatever from top to bottom in the diagram, it actually sections that room off now like a secret room, and you will
Yeah,
not be able to see that from
that
other parts of the map.
yeah, that's what scroll stop is. When I
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You just termed it something different. Scroll stops in the game. Again, like you can make coin rooms and treasure rooms or trap rooms, section them off, and you don't have to put them in some bizarre part of the map that you'll never see. You can just put them somewhere, and because of that line, it's gonna hide them. A much requested feature was confirmed. Vertical sub areas are now part of the game. You can have these as regular levels that you play, or they can auto scroll. And auto scroll is now in any direction. You can change angles and speeds on the fly. Certain parts of the level can scroll at the first speed, and then it changes and it ramps up to two or three. You can make it go up, backwards, down, left to right, anywhere you really want it to. The line, the little, I guess the level track line at the bottom is now draggable and editable for you to be able to do that. And so I thought that was really cool. That's something people have been asking for a good while. Bonsai Bill is in the game. They made a big deal about showing that he can go in the four cardinal directions, but also come in from the background
only in
and
the
break
3D
blocks.
in
Only
the
in 3D
3D world.
World. That's right. But in all the others, Bonsai Bill also has a homing variant, uh, which looks absolutely terrifying. With all these
All,
Bonsai
all,
Bills are coming
all it
toward you.
all it needs is wings on it, and it'll make it even more terrifying.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Big coins are now in the game. You can set coins to be 10, 30, or 50 and use those to tempt players into challenge spots in your level to make them work a little bit harder. Also added in is a brand new item. There was the Buzzy Beetle shell and the Spiny shell in the first game. Now there is a dry bone shell that will
That
allow you
looks
to
really
walk.
cool.
Yeah, it allows you to walk on lava. But it also, if you press down, will crumble you for a few brief seconds, and you will be invincible while this works, which opens up a ton of possibilities again for levels like auto scroll levels where it's pushing you past different things and you have to crumble at different times. And it, I'm just really thrilled with this game. If you can't tell, new sound effects are in the game. Also confirmed something that we thought was coming. Co-op making is in the game, which means that two people with two Joy Cons can create a level on the same screen. Um, and let's just stop right there and let's talk about some of these because some of the stuff that we're about to talk about is just really huge. Tons of stuff that was confirmed. I guess I'll throw a couple more in there. New enemies that we'd kind of already seen. Twisters. You can put in icicles now that fall when you run by. Red Yoshi is in the game. I would wager to say there's other color Yoshis as well.
Probably.
Blue and yellow were big in Mario World. I have a feeling we'll see those again. Conveyors can now be sloped. There are parachutes. Boom Boom is in the game as well as Pom Pom And noticed today, or actually shown off, and we're going to circle back around to this because I want to ask you about it. The Koopa car, not the clown car, but an actual vehicle like a car, has been shown. I'm guessing because racing levels were so popular in the first Mario Maker.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy thing: in the direct, when they got into the Koopa car, the Super Famicom logo came up on the screen.
Yeah, I noticed this as well.
That was a sound effect.
Oh, it's a sound effect. So what does it
Yeah.
do?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but they showed. See, I think Game Explain had a video that was shown in. Saw another video that Japan had that was 20 more minutes on top of the 15-minute direct they
Wow.
had, and they were dug more in depth, including the new sound effects. And when you trigger a sound effect, you get a graphical blip 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 blip, and one that looked like a Famicom logo was one of those icons. So
We should have
it's
got
a sound.
the video too.
I just don't know what sound it is.
Just saying, we should have got the longer video. Speaking of that, I think it'd be a good time to mention new sound effects are in as well. Out of this list so far, what do you guys like the most? I mean, what do you think is going to be the most fun to play with? What was the addition maybe that you
I don't
were
know if
wanting and it made it in?
See, I don't know if you mentioned this one in my list, but you can have a level have different clear conditions other than just hitting the flagpole.
Yeah,
Like
we were going to
the
talk
feet?
about that here in a minute, but that's
Okay.
fine to go ahead and
Yeah,
mention
so
it now.
I think that would be probably the most interesting thing, because the people who can make good levels can be very creative. And
Yeah, and
those
so
will
for
be
those
fun.
of you who are not following what Jesse's saying, what that basically means is like your typical Mario clear condition is get to the flagpole, but you can have custom clear conditions like kill all the dry bones, or make it to the end as Super Mario, or be Cat Mario
Or-
when you cross the goal line.
or collect a certain number of points.
Yes, and so if I'm not mistaken, some of those were already active in the 3DS version of Mario Maker, right?
Yeah,
I don't-
so I think
Okay,
I
I
was
never
the only
had that
person.
one.
I think I was the only person who owned the 3DS version.
Oh no, I
Between us
haven't.
lot. You got it as well. Yeah, they were like submissions in it, so you didn't have to do them, and they were only in the Nintendo built levels, and they were like an optional extra. So basically, if you finished the level, you got like a coin, and then you could go back and do whatever mission they'd give you after that, which again would be the same sort of thing
Right.
to collect another coin. I think this is one of the biggest changes in the game, because later on, when everybody else dropped off the original Mario Maker, all the best creators were still going, and they still are today. And a lot of their levels have like a secret ending, so normally with the red coins, but it means now they can actually be integrated into just being the normal ending. So you find a lot of like really well designed Metroidvanias because of that.
Yes.
And now they're gonna obviously be one
Oh,
step
it's going to
higher
be
than they were before.
ridiculous. But no, and it's like that's the big thing is like clear conditions before were pre-programmed by Nintendo. Now you can create your own,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's a pretty big deal. I think for me, out of all of this, just what we've talked about so far, the water levels, I think is a huge bonus because it adds a ton to the game. You were able to create water levels in the original Mario Maker, but it was just like completely underwater. Now you can play around with the physics of that, and also the on and off blocks. I'm really excited about the possibilities for that. Like they showed off even in the direct, Mario kicking a Buzzy Beetle shell and having to hit the on and off block to get it through a certain course so that it would get a red coin, and there's going to be a ton of that. I'm excited for all of that. There and really anytime you can add in other enemies as well, like Angry Sun, Bonsai Bill, and they showed more later on, and we just didn't talk about them because they're mainly 3D World stuff, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But like Twister is in as well. Boom Boom and Pom Pom I think are in all of the.
She Pom Pom was only, I think, was mentioned specifically in the 3D World part. So
Boom Boom is definitely in all
Boom
four.
Boom, Boom Boom is in all sections, but I think
Yeah,
Pom
all
Pom's
four
only in 3D
regular
World.
sections. Yeah. Okay. So you're probably right on that.
Okay. Before
Anything
we,
else from that section?
well, yeah, before we move on, I want to mention chat. Okay, you go ahead, Gary, and then I'm.
I
Did you
was
have
going to say,
anything?
I think one of the things that's really going to change this game a lot more than it should is the slopes, because that's something that everyone wanted in the original Mario Maker anyway, and especially when they added the Mario Maker level to Smash 4. Um,
And there were slopes.
and there were slopes now. It made people sure they was going to patch them in, and they never did. And I think it's going to change the game a lot. In fact, it's going to change it, like having to put a signature for a $20 swimsuit. It's going to make that much of an impact.
Just be prepared for the very first like week that this game is out. That every course you play is going to have slopes.
Oh yeah, every single.
Right,
It's kind of like when Link came out for Mario Kart 8, and you go
Yeah.
online and everybody's Link.
or Smash when Joker launched. Everyone was Joker.
Yep.
So
It's gonna happen.
I don't know if you guys mentioned it yet because my PC crashed. So you lost me for a second. But the voting for the end of the levels, you've got an upvote and a downvote now.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that yet. We'll get to that as we talk about online features, which are very good. I'm excited to talk about those. Jesse, what were you talking about in the chat? What are people saying over there?
FNAF and Friends Puppet asks, are they going to talk about Amiibo support at E3? I
don't know that they're going to talk about this game at E3.
Yeah, well,
and if they do, I don't think it's going to be Amiibo support.
They left enough holes. I think they might cover 5 minutes of it in E3, but because
I can see.
But yeah, I think they have to have Amiibo support because that was a big part of the first game.
Oh yeah, it's
I don't
huge.
I don't think they're going to lose that. That was one of the reasons that was one of the reasons that why I played that game as long as I did, is because I tried to collect as many of the costumes as I could.
Yeah, I still don't have all the ones from the first one, but I'm done now. I'm not going back.
And then it was also mentioned in the screen that showed all the level styles next to 3D World. There's an obvious gap that something else might fit in there. So that might, I think.
Y'all keep listening. We're going to talk about it in the rumor section here in just a little bit.
So yeah, I think that'll probably be E3 as part of the final updates because the game will launch like 2 weeks after E3.
Yep. I think that like if you remember back when Smash, when they were doing the directs and they were blurring stuff out, or there was stuff that wasn't where it was supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden when the game released, it was there. They have the ability to edit stuff out. And maybe let's just skip the rumor section tonight. We'll just talk about it right here. It's going to be Mario 2. It's got to be Mario 2. And if it's not, this game is absolute garbage. And oh my gosh, if they literally says extra game styles. And they made a huge deal of saying Mario 3D World has to be here because it's so different than all the others, and it's so different. It clears out whatever you've made. Well, why would they do that? Well, that's because they've put in a section for game styles that you can only make levels that look like that style. They're only going to be contained in there. It's got to be Mario 2. Please let it be Mario 2. Some people said Odyssey, and I'm like, I don't know. No, I don't think it's going to be Odyssey.
Honestly, I'd like to see Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. That's the art style I'd want to see.
I said this to Justin the other day. He and I were talking back and forth before the direct, and I said, I will pay for any DLC for this game that they will give us. And if that's, we're going to give you extra game styles and they're going to be $10-15 down the road, yes. Give me Mario 2, give me Mario Land 2, give me Mario Land, give me Paper Mario.
Paper Mario would be cool.
I don't care. Let me do some of those things. Like if they did it like Super Paper Mario.
Let's do the flip 2D 3D.
I don't think they'd let you flip 2D 3D. I think it would be
Right.
based 2D just like 3D World is.
Probably.
But anyway, well, let's move on. Let's talk about this next section. Story mode was also introduced during this direct, and they spent quite a bit of time talking about this. 100 plus courses will be available during the story mode, which is centered around rebuilding Princess Peach's castle. Which, now Mario has rebuilt the Mushroom Kingdom in Mario Run, and now he's having to build a freaking castle back. Needy, needy, needy. That's all I want to say. And like you go in and you complete the levels and you get coins, and those coins allow you to build new parts of the castle, and that allows you to get to new toads that give you new levels, and you meet interesting characters like Mr. Eraser and Undo Dog, and do different things for them. I did see Nintendo. Nintendo's Treehouse has always kind of been up on pop culture, as like in some of the references that they translate and everything. And Toadette in one of the screenshots was named Chief, and
Yeah,
her
I saw
quote
that.
was "This ain't it. This ain't it, Chief." Some of y'all will get that.
I don't get it.
It's memes, dude. It's just
Okay.
memes, and if you don't get it, then anyway, I don't know that I get it. I just know that I've seen it. So story mode is going to be a big thing. I'm actually like, are y'all looking forward to story mode? Because I am.
I am. It's,
Uh,
go
I'm
ahead.
probably not as much.
Yeah. See, I just think the Nintendo levels that are in story mode, like especially like for the 3DS, because it had kind of a story mode as well. Like when they give themselves permission to quote cheat a little bit and play outside the parameters of a typical Mario game are wonderful. And so I think that I look forward to the variety and all kinds of different things that come out of this.
I wonder if they're gonna whatever they're gonna do on June 8th with their Mario Maker tournament. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but when they did this back in 2015, they introduced the 3 Mario Maker levels from the tournament into the game.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do that here too.
You know what would be smart for them to do during that tournament is to get famous developers to design a level and have people play through it.
Didn't they do that at some point? They had some of the as downloadable levels. They got developers who
They
work
did.
for the companies. Yeah.
But I was just saying, like, it
Kojima
would be
do one?
cool. I don't know that Kojima did one, but like, it would be really cool if they like had whatever they're planning for E3. If there's a couple of big, third party developer drops, that those guys would do a level for the Mario Maker thing, and it would all just be congruent. It would all tie in together. I don't know.
So the
I'm not
interesting
saying reveal anything. I'm just saying, here's Koji Igarashi, and he's going to make a Mario level, and you're going to be able to, like, think about this, guys. You're going to be able to tap in the Simon Belmont amiibo, and now you have Mario Castlevania.
Oh yeah, the
Oh.
castle.
I'm down for this. Like, I'm super down for this.
In the ghost house. Perfect fit.
Yes, in the ghost house. There you go.
Yeah.
And he
So-
can show some of that stuff off. I don't know.
On the subject of having the world champion Mario Maker thing happening, I mean, they did do the original Mario Maker in the Nintendo World Championships last time we saw those.
Right.
It was a content, but obviously with the online modes now, we're going to see, a better version of that, basically. And I feel that this is going to end up being in their competitions going forward, because Nintendo UK Versus, which I don't know if you have a US Versus, I have no idea. They were tweeting about Mario Maker, which I found strange. And obviously, it could be added to their basically esports list that they have, as they seem to have dropped both ARMS and Pokken Tournament. It looks like it could be filling in a gap that's been left there.
Just like most people have.
Yeah. I mean, there's when a game stops getting updates, it's kind of it's got a time limit on then. And yeah, I think that for the last couple of times I've seen them, they've only really had Mario Kart, Splatoon, and Smash.
Yeah.
So they need another game in that, and in my opinion, Mario Maker is now pretty much a perfect fit for that. So it'd be interesting to see if they take it to the competition zones and all that sort of stuff. Because every time they do an event in England, Nintendo UK Versus is normally there, whether it be EGX, the biggest show in England, or even some of the little local ones, some of the Comic Cons, and it'll be interesting to see if that's now added to those stations.
I agree. Let's talk about some of these other new elements, and then get to some of the multiplayer stuff because that is relevant. 4 brand new course themes are also being added to the main 4 theme, I guess, or templates or whatever. Desert, snow, forest, and sky will all be added, so you can play those in Mario, Mario 3, Mario World, and New Super Mario Brothers. And also, they mentioned that you will be able to unlock night versions of all of these course themes that will have extra effects. And the angry sun becomes the moon. And when you touch the moon, it will kill all the enemies on the screen. And like in certain places, it will give you anti-gravity, or you'll be upside down, or all kinds of interesting effects will happen. They didn't reveal all of them, obviously, but it looks really neat that they are, kind of forward thinking on that. I did want in the first Mario Maker, I was like, man, Mario, had those, like the original Mario Brothers had those really cool looking night levels, where the background was black, and you know, and I wish that we could make those. Well, now it looks like we're going to be able to do that. Eventually, they did mention that you'll be able to use it unlocked without Angry Sun, and I would imagine that those extra effects are probably also toggle. They'll be able to be toggled on and off as well.
I hope so, because I would want to see night themed levels, but still with the regular physics.
Yeah, I agree. As customizable as this game is shaping up to be, I fully believe they'll be able to be toggled on and off.
Maybe they could be toggled to the on-off switch.
It might be. Mario 3D World was shown after that, and it was placed in another section of the overall themes, called Extra Game Styles, where again, as we said earlier, something was left blank next to that, and we'll see what that's going to be. But lots of different things going on here with Mario World. Of course, it isn't 3D as it is on the Wii U, but it is 2D now. But it includes everything you're familiar with. Cat Mario is available, and he is able to climb up structures in the background. He was shown climbing trees. He was shown climbing walls. He has his pounce. He has the slide. Yeah. Clear pipes are also in the game that you can make a custom shape, but enemies can also use those as well, just like they could in 3D World.
And in that extra video that they showed in Japan, they showed a clear pipe that had a capped off of the back end. So when Mario hit that cap, it basically turned him around, and he had to be spat back out where he started.
Okay, so that is in.
So cool. you could kind of make traps.
Wow. So that's going to be neat. Crates are in. You're able to, these float on water. You're also, and lava, apparently. You can pick these up and throw them and use them as bridges. Warp blocks are in that take you to different areas. Spike blocks are in. Exclamation blocks are in. Blinking blocks are in.
I like the blinking blocks.
Like the timed thing, like it beep, 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 click, and it switches over. You're going to be able to use those. Track blocks are in, which allow you to pre-program a thing when you hit them. They'll go out, and you'll be able to climb or get across something with them. They added in a mushroom trampoline that looks like it comes in 2 colors, one that is not so high and one that is a higher bounce. And then from there, they mentioned some enemies.
Like quick shot these.
Yeah, Piranha Creeper is in the game, which will go wherever you draw. Skip Squeak, Koopa Troopa Car, Charvar, Pom Pom, Bonsai Bill, and also Meowser, which is his now new official name. Meowser is in the game as well, which is cat form Bowser. A lot of people have guessed that there may also be a Meowser Jr. That is coming for this game as well.
So is Meowser a Nintendo canon name, or is that a fan thing? Because
No, it's in there because I noticed on one of the menus when they moused over him, it said Meowser.
Okay.
Are they applying that to everything else? So is there going to be a Mumba, an Mumba Trooper?
So what would it be in Japan? Do they call him
A
Meowser?
Mulet Bill, Mulet Mule.
Because you nyan for a cat instead of meow.
Well, see, they don't call him Bowser in Japan. He's just Koopa.
True. I don't know.
Nupa.
Yupa.
That just sounds
Nupa hasn't got the same.
Yupa.
same-
It just doesn't have as good a ring to it as Meowser does.
Okay. Well,
Another thing that I thought was interesting that they did mention during this is that Koji Kondo has composed all new music for this game.
Kondo-sama.
And I'm super excited about that because that means new kind of remixed versions of themes for these winter, desert, snow, forest, sky levels, different parts. He's done all of that. And y'all, I didn't realize yesterday, or I guess I've always realized this, but like after the direct yesterday, that 3D world theme is an absolute earworm. I love it. It is so good. It is so good, and people don't mention it enough as they talk about Mario music. But that original 3D world theme, like from the very first level, is so good. So there's still plenty to talk about. I did notice online today someone posted a screenshot showing power-ups, and there is a hammer power-up that no one has talked about yet.
I missed it.
And so some people believe that is going to be Hammer Brother Mario from Mario 3. But the crazy thing about it was being shown off in New Super Mario Brothers theme.
Now they're going to do the Hammer Brothers outfit with the slopes. You know the thing. You know how that works with 3.
Oh yeah, where you can like get in the shell.
Yeah, because normally in play, when you have that suit on and you're standing on a slope, down will still give you a crouch. But there's one point in the game where if you're in mid slide when you get the costume, the slide continues. So there are sprites for a sliding Hammer Brother Mario, but most people has never seen it because it'll
Very
only
rarely
happen
has it
in
been
one
used.
room.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I hope they do it. I've always loved the Hammer Brothers suit. I think it's a great fit for Mario Maker. I think there's some cool things you could do with it. Time will tell. We'll talk about Nintendo Switch Online features now. Course World is back. You can use it to share content along with CourseBot. But now users can place comments on courses if enabled. In other words, say you fall off some donut blocks that are particularly hard to get to or hard to jump from, you can leave what appears to be a pre-programmed little image there that warns people. It does not look like you're able to type in your own images or type in your own text like you were able to do that with Mario Maker, right? You could draw Miiverse.
They had Miiverse posts.
Right, so you're not going to be able to do that.
It's now dead, but I think it's Miiverse-like similar functionality.
Right. Another thing that I was really excited about is that courses can be downloaded for offline play so that you do not have to have an internet connection to play your favorite courses. I think that's a fantastic choice and necessary since the Switch is both portable and dockable, right?
Yep.
That's a brilliant thing. Maker profiles will also be back, which will include your Maker points and rank, just like it did for Super Mario Maker 1. But on this one, you will be able to customize your your Maker avatar with all kinds of different unlockables that you will get as you achieve different ranks and go and do different things. I'm sure they'll be pretty easy to unlock, but everything from Toad hats to Peach outfits to different kinds of things like that. It looked like were in the game, which is pretty interesting. There will also be ranking boards, which there's kind of an endless mode online, and depending on how far you get, you can level up your ranking in the global rank. The direct showed somebody achieving 11th in the world.
Easy when only 20 people have played the level.
As I was going to say, I'm sure it's easy right now. But I think that's cool that you're able to have kind of the endless mode. It did not seem like 100 Mario Challenge was back. It seemed like endless mode was kind of taking its place, like run until you just can't complete a level, which for some people is going to be one death. Let's be honest. It's going to be challenging. One of the big things that they did mention was co-op play, and maybe you can help me here on this because I'm a little bit confused about this as well. 4 people can play courses on the same Switch, right?
Yeah. I don't know about that.
I think these are one person per Switch.
Yeah.
One person per Switch per copy of the game, right?
Yep.
So if you want to play with your kids, you're in for a pretty penny buying everybody copies of Mario Maker 2. Now, I understand why they're doing it because like when you're doing tight platforming, and Mario is a very tight platformer game, you want that camera that's centered on your character, not somebody else's character, right?
Right.
So
you don't have to worry about bubbles anymore. Everyone can have their own view.
I think this is definitely the way to go with it. But courses can be played up to 4-player with randomly selected courses. You can make courses on the same screen, so it's not completely broken and busted 2-player. But the ability to take and go play and be matched up with random people online and play Mario Maker courses, I think it's scary, but it's brilliant. And there's 2 ways of doing this. Number one is a race to the end to see who can be the first one to complete the level. The second one is a cooperative mode in which if one player completes the level, everyone completes the level, and they all get points for that. I feel like, am I wrong in saying this, that this is this game's killer feature?
I think it is. I think this is the single thing that I'm most excited for. The possibilities on it are endless, and as you guys are fully well aware, there's Mario Maker streamers out there who are still streaming the first game. Like, this opens up a huge possibility for those guys as well.
I cannot wait to see Paul Lloyd.
Oh yeah,
friend of the show, Paul. Man, he is going to. I know he's already flipping out. But
as part of the course maker, you're able to turn on different tags that you think qualify. Like just a puzzle-based thing, or just...
and you can search by those as well, which is the reason for the tags, which is really cool.
And then one of the tags is meant, if this is a course meant to be played multiplayer, you can tag it, and so I'm sure that'll come up.
Y'all, there is going to be... Think about this. There's going to be insane multiplayer courses where people have to take different routes to get to the same goal.
Yeah.
Think about that. It's going to be insane. And as Gary mentioned earlier, the ability now to upvote and downvote a course has been added, which I think is excellent. I just hope that downvote button doesn't get abused, which I feel like it can.
There's a few things that they need to do to make it friendly for everyone, really. This is why a lot of places like Facebook don't have a downvote button, because of obviously trolls. We've seen it through Nintendo's history as well, like with the Federation Force trailer, where everybody took to YouTube and downvoted it to the point where Nintendo took the voting off. The problem with it is that it can be damaging to a user if they create a level they think is good and they see that it's got like 200 negative votes and only 3 positive ones. So they have to be kind of careful about how they're going to go about implementing this in the right way. So it's going to be interesting to see if you can actually see how many times it's been downvoted, and if other people can see how many times it's been downvoted. and if it in fact makes any sort of difference to how long it stays online, and if eventually they'll get booted. So that's my biggest question about this
There's
game.
a simple way around this. And the simple way around it is that you have to play and complete the level to vote for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the original
because
Mario
then
Maker
you don't have
style
people
them.
who what you don't have there is you don't have people who can just come and pile on somebody
Yeah,
and like, oh, we don't like this person anymore, so I'm going to go round up all my internet friends and we're going to go downvote all his levels. At least play them first. Like, at least make it where the person has to play the level first.
yeah. I believe that the original Mario Maker, you could give someone a star for their level without even finishing it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm with you. I don't really agree with that. I think you should have to finish a level before you could put your input on it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out because we know that the internet is not always the shiny, happy place that we want it to be, right?
Yeah.
So I hope that it just doesn't backfire on them. But it looks like just by this, and I mean, we've been, we here on the show, again, we love Nintendo, but we try to be fair and balanced, right? As far as, pointing out good things and flaws. And it looks to me like Nintendo has put in significant thought and development time into the online features of this game.
Agreed.
The execution of it is going to be what remains to be seen. Like, show me the video of 4 people playing online, fine. Am I going to lag when I play online? That's my question. Am I going to, is it going to be unplayable because I need to make a precise jump and I can't?
To me, the interesting thing about this entire Direct was that they had no mention of the app. Not a single mention of the mobile phone app.
No.
And this has to be integrated into at some point, or they have to get rid of the app. They have to do one thing or the other.
It's going to, because I mean, they didn't mention the app at all except for voice chat with Smash, and now look what we have.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're going to be able to see people like, you remember Mario, what was it? The Mario Maker bookmark site that you could go on and sign in. That's going to be in the app. You're going to be able to search for levels via the app and download them to your device. You have to be able to do that.
And that would be the first time I'd actually use the app for anything, because I haven't used it for Smash.
Yeah.
In fact, I haven't played Smash since Piranha Plant's been introduced. And I think that Mario Maker is the perfect place for the app. Not so much for the voice chat still, because I don't think anything's perfect for that voice chat, but definitely searching through users and downloading levels is definitely something that I think they need in the app.
Here's the deal that I have with it. Like, think about, I used the web portal bookmarker mainly to find amiibo levels.
Mm-hmm.
That I wanted to play. Like, if amiibo functionality comes back and you're able to search for amiibo levels via the app, that becomes infinitely usable to me. Whereas I'm like you, I don't crack the first bit of light on that app. Most of the time, it's on the front page of my phone, and it just sits there. I mean, I've gone in it a couple of times since Smash has come up, but with no search ability, not even able to search titles, that doesn't really help. It's not really helpful. So you've got to be able. There's got to be a way to sort Mario Maker levels, because this is early life cycle Switch. Let's be real about it. Early life cycle Switch. Mario Maker was late life cycle Wii U.
Yeah.
And there were still millions of levels.
Yeah. That was 2015, right?
Yeah. So imagine how many levels there's going to be within the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Of this being out. And it's going to be, there's not going to be a Mario Maker 3 on Switch.
Seems like longer than 4 years ago, but I don't know. It could be wrong.
It's pretty close. Let's talk about one last thing, and that is the vouchers. If you've been online any over the last day or so, you've heard about the Nintendo voucher program. There are a couple of pre-purchase promotions that are being run for Mario Maker right now. Number one is the $70 pre-purchase promotion for the game and a 12-month Nintendo Switch Online subscription, which means you get a Nintendo Switch Online subscription for $10. If you buy this, you get the 12 months. If you're already a member, it stacks on top of your current membership. So it basically adds a year to your current membership for $10. It is not known whether this is going to be valid for family members right now or not. It's probably only valid for single members, which kind of shoots the usefulness of that in the foot for me. But like, if you don't have Nintendo Online, this is the package you need to buy. Go ahead and think about this. Think about it this way. You're buying Mario Maker 2, which is going to be a fantastic game, and for $10 more, you're getting access to online capabilities and 40 plus NES games right now.
Yep.
It is a steal of a deal. And, you know,
this will be available physical in addition to the digital.
Yes.
As well.
We had heard, you know, when the investor call about a month ago, that they were looking for ways to increase attachment rates. Boom. There you go. It's a brilliant way to look at this. And we kind of knew that it was coming. It's being offered. This is not just an America thing. This is being offered in European region. This is being offered in Japan.
This is like
pretty much
third way that they've given away or given a discount towards subscriptions in the last 2 months.
Yeah, they're those subscriptions, guys.
I have a weird thing against this because from what I've seen, the physical boxes that include that code have the ugliest top banner on the box. I hope that that's just like a cardboard overlay and that they actually haven't put that on the real box art because it's horrible. I don't know if you guys
haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it doesn't look pretty.
I have to go look that up.
But also, we got a slight difference from the Americans as well because every pre-order that takes place in England pretty much comes with a stylus.
Yeah.
Mario Maker 2 stylus. That includes the package with the online voucher as well. And also the digital purchases as well. So if you order it digitally, you can still get the stylus. I don't know how that works. I can't remember how, but yeah, that is a thing.
They'll probably just mail it to you, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be similar to how they handle the NES controllers. You make the purchase and you're automatically registered to the account. They have your address and they'll just ship
Speaking of NES controllers, we're going to talk about those later on the show, but I do want to mention this before I forget it. My son today updated the NES app, and when he opened it up, there was an ad for those controllers.
Really?
That popped up before he could see his games. Like, he had to X out of it. It was reminding him that those were available for purchase.
Yeah, because I bet the sales of those have slumped off really heavily.
I didn't see it in mine, but I heard other people say when they launched the Famicom version of the app on the Switch, they got a message saying, you could buy the Famicom controllers.
And that's the thing is, like, this is not, he's been on my family account since September. This is not something new. Like, he's been playing NES games. So this is with this update, they are targeting people who have not bought those NES controllers.
Right. So maybe because I bought these, I also didn't get flagged for the Famicom version. But yeah, I didn't get the pop-up because I've already bought them.
Yeah, I probably won't either. The other voucher system, let's get back to this. The other pre-purchase promotion you can buy for Mario Maker includes 2 vouchers that you can buy for a total of $99.99 that you can then redeem for 2 full-price digital games up to a year after the voucher purchase. So in other words, if you want to spend $99.99 and get Mario Maker 2, you can use one of your vouchers on that, and then you can use that other voucher for any game that's coming out from here until a year from the date of purchase. So that means Luigi's Mansion or Animal Crossing or Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield. It means Astral Chain, Fire Emblem. Literally, any game that's coming out that you're hype about, that you're excited about, you can use it.
Nintendo published game.
Nintendo published games. You can have up to 8 of these vouchers on your account at one time, and you will get 5% value in gold coins that gives you 500 gold coins for every pair of vouchers, which means you could get a $125 value for the cost of $100. And these are available to buy right now on the Nintendo Switch online menu of the shop. If just doing the math, if you buy two regularly priced 59.99 games, which end up being about $65 after tax, right? You are saving about $20 this way on the second game.
Right. So
There are a couple of bad things about this. Was that what you were about to mention?
no. Question for Gary in chat. Ebusos
Okay.
asks, "What's the cost of the vouchers in UK money?"
£84. So
Okay.
it's still about the same sort of savings and stuff like that. Like the normal game here it's around £50 to £60 depending on what it is. I think Smash was 60.
Wow.
But I mean,
Then that's a really good deal for you then.
this is why I'm not a digital person in England, because the digital games are an absolute rip-off in my opinion compared to the physicals. Like Smith's Toy Store over here does £5 off games if you pre-order them, and they're £5 cheaper than every other retailer in general. So that's £10 off, which instantly makes it, a fifth of the price off from the eShop straight away. So where it's a good deal, it's only really trying to get in there slightly with the retail market over here. So I probably wouldn't be buying these, but I think it's a really good deal.
I think this is something that Nintendo we're gonna see them play around with. We've seen them do lots of deals and discounts. If you think about it, they've gold coins. Were one of these back on the Wii U. It was the digital distribution or digital deal
Digital
or
Deluxe program.
yeah, the DDP. Where if you bought this, and this, you would get so much back, and you could use it on other games. This is obviously meant. I mean, if you're gonna buy two Nintendo games between now and the end of the year, if one of them is Mario Maker or one of them is Pokemon or one of them is Luigi's Mansion or whatever, if you're gonna buy two Nintendo published games by the end of the year, this is a no brainer, right? Pay the money up front, save the vouchers, you use them, you turn them in online. It's what I'm going to do this. Jesse and I were talking ahead of time. There's at least four games that I know that I want that I'm probably going to go ahead and get vouchers for. The negative side of this is it seems to be right now, and we're not entirely sure because they haven't made an official statement, that vouchers are not transferable to other accounts. And what I mean by that is I can't buy a set of vouchers and say, I'm going to use this on Mario Maker. Here you go, son. You can use this on Pokemon Sword. Unless it's a code that you can go actually put in, then you're good. Then you're golden. I mean, it can be a code you can give to anybody. It'd be a great gift for people, a way to give games. I really hope Nintendo opens this up to this. But it may be that they just can't. It may be the way their system works. They can't. Either way, even if it's just games for you.
My guess is the vouchers will just be on your account like gold coins and spendable just as easy.
Yeah.
But also non-transferable the same.
For me, this is the four games are Mario Maker, Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, and Pokemon Sword. Those are the four. And there's others coming out like we said, Astral Chain, Fire Emblem. Think about this: anything Nintendo published that comes out before this time next year, actually before July 31st of next year, because you can buy them on July 31st of 2019, and they're good until 2020, July 31st. And guys, this includes Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 as well, because that's Nintendo published. So some big heavy hitter games that are in here that you can go buy those vouchers right now.
Yeah, I was on the fence for Marvel Alliance 3 because I don't remember liking the first one much. But, if I can get it for $50 through this, that leans me more of maybe I'll give it a try. I'm thinking about, getting at least I'm getting two sets of vouchers for sure. Probably one soon so I can get Mario Maker with it, and then one closer to the end of July, just so I have
Yeah.
that extra time to
And
use
think
it.
about it this way too.
Because I know there'll be 4 games that I'll want.
Yeah. And with 1,000 gold coins, y'all, that is $10 in eShop credit, right? There's indie games that are out there that are $10 that are fine games.
I'll buy Picross S4 with that.
Yeah, you can save it at Picross X4. You can buy Downwell, which is $3. You can get all kinds of. I mean, you like even today that would be half off the Castlevania Anniversary Collection that dropped today because it was $20. So it's an incredible deal. Don't miss out. It goes through July 31st. You can do that right on the eShop on your Switch. One last thing about Super Mario Maker, and we've already kind of mentioned that the Invitational Tournament. Our Invitational will be June 8th. This will be broadcast as part of E3, where Mario Maker players will be invited from around the world to come and compete against each other in Super Mario Maker 2 levels. More info will be coming about that soon, including who will be participating.
I've got a question for you guys. I don't know if you know the answer, but do you know if those vouchers still apply all the other savings that you get? So, for example, if you pre-order a game, you'll normally get double gold coins. I wonder if they're still going to, because in that case, that makes them worth a lot more to me.
But if you're using a voucher to buy a game, you're not going to get coins for the game because you got the coins for the vouchers. So double your zero.
That could be it could be a big downside to it, you see.
Well, either way, you're getting gold coins. Just getting the gold coins early versus not. But
I get what you're saying. You get gold coins for the purchase of the vouchers.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so that's.
Yeah, and then if you look at the eShop, it'll say up to 500 coins. At least in the United States, it'll be different depending on where you're at. And it says it always says up to, because say you already have $20 of gold coins and you decide I want to spend the gold coins to get $20 off of the 100. So you're paying $80. So your gold coins you'll get for the purchase is 5% of the 80.
Yeah.
So you won't get the full 500 because you're not paying the full 100, but you'll still get 500 of whatever you do spend on it. So yeah, you do get coins, you just get it early or not with the game.
Yeah.
And then
that's right.
If you don't know where to find them, if you go into eShop, go to the Nintendo Switch Online section, and it'll be listed in there near the top.
That is correct. Thank you, Jesse. Let's move on. Let's talk about some other news real quick because that Mario Maker section ate up a ton of time. Yesterday, new NES games launched for the Nintendo Switch Online NES app. These included Versus Excitebike, which is available outside of Japan for the first time on the Switch. It was available on Wii U Virtual Console. Am I right?
Yeah, it just was never. Okay. We never got it on the NES.
Right, never got it on the NES. This is basically the two-player version of Excitebike. It also has the truck jump mini game type game you can play as well. Also included in
track builder where you can actually save. Courses.
Track builder. I forgot about that as well. And this is, since it is the Famicom version, the music is also upgraded as well, which is pretty cool.
No, I don't like the music. This isn't Koji. This isn't Hip Tanaka's music. It's someone else. It's a different music set.
Yeah.
I don't like it as much as the original game.
Well,
I like the original game's music better.
Yeah, it is different. Clue Cuckoo Land was also included in this update, and we have now spent more time talking about it than most of you will spend playing it.
Yeah,
because it's garbage.
If you want to see me get frustrated on it, I put out a video yesterday.
Yeah,
have fun with that.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel when we're trotting out Clue Clue Land for the monthly NES update. But the good news is that the fantastic Donkey Kong Jr. Is included with this month's releases. I love this game way more than Donkey Kong. I think Donkey Kong Jr. is way better. My son was playing it this afternoon on the way home, and he was like, "Why is Mario such a jerk?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, you captured Donkey Kong." I was like, "Well, if you think about it, in Smash Brothers, he punches Donkey Kong in the face too."
Okay. Well, this is my gaming history here. This is the second game Mario has ever been in, the follow-up to Donkey Kong. So, thinking from that point of view, where you don't know what happens after 1983 or 1982,
Yeah,
and the story changes. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
going back to Clu Clu Land, FNAF and Friends says I never had a clue this game existed.
Oh,
Love it.
oh, that's bad.
Love it.
I wish I had a clue this game didn't exist.
Yeah, but Donkey Kong Jr. is it's a good port.
It's definitely the star of this.
The Donkey Kong port is obviously has flaws versus this arcade because the arcade is more vertical oriented than horizontal, but Junior is more squarish to horizontal and it fits better and it's a really good port.
Yeah, it works really, really well. The SP offering for this month is the entirely forgettable Yawn Fest Star Soldier SP. I don't even like the regular version of this game, so
I launched it and lost my
skip.
power ups in like 5 seconds. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
now this game's garbage.
Yeah, it's a big skip. So that is this month. One game, two good games, two not so good games. Go download those if you haven't yet. We also, along with some others, and we were a little bit late to the party on this one as we found out, but Jesse accidentally discovered this week that NES controllers work when they are docked to a Switch in handheld mode. And what that basically means is that the left Joy-Con, or quote NES controller, the D-pad works as expected. The left button becomes the up button, etc. A button works as the screenshot button. B does nothing. The right NES controller, the D-pad works as a home button, and then the A and B buttons work as expected as well. Start and select work as plus and minus. There are no known shoulder button access, whatever they do, because they're docked. You can't get to them.
One thing I found out as editing the video that I recorded yesterday, where before I said the A B button or the B button seemed to do nothing on the left side, I think it acted as the Y button in the NES game, but it's probably software specific. When I was playing Picross, it did nothing,
Gotcha.
or at least nothing I noticed.
Gotcha. Well, you can go and test that out, that extremely awkward configuration out for your own if you own those NES controllers for the Switch. But one other thing that we do want to mention is just congratulations to Nintendo are in order in Japan because the Switch has now overtaken lifetime sales of the PlayStation 4, which is a huge feat in and of themselves. I mean, they had already blown past Xbox One, but now overtaking lifetime sales for the PS4 in Japan. If you don't realize how big a deal that is, y'all, that is huge. I mean, Nintendo is typically king in Japan anyway, but the PS4 has been an absolute juggernaut over there. It's been a juggernaut worldwide, and for them to crack that limit there, and routinely, if you look at sales numbers each and every week, the Switch is selling way more than PS4 over there. Of course, it's at the end of its life cycle, pretty much, with a few.
Still, it did in little more than 2 years what PS4 took almost 6 years to do.
Yeah. So, Switch is here to stay, boys. Nothing slowing that down right now, especially since all of these games are coming out for the rest of the year.
All right. Small backtrack about the NES controller thing. If you want to see me struggle with it, that's at the end of my NES game video from yesterday on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
So check that out.
Yeah, go watch Jesse play Clu Clu Land and the awkward NES Joy-Con configuration. Let's move into a little bit of discussion.
I think I played the wrong sound bite. But
Yeah,
okay.
that's cool. It works. Discord is in the news this week because the creators of Discord have come out and declared and mentioned that they would love to be an app on Nintendo Switch. They're just waiting on Nintendo's approval for this, or for Nintendo to get with them about it. Um, and much has been made, and we've even talked about on the show about Nintendo's reliance on their app and how Discord might be better and how there's other systems out there. But this actually sounds not like they want to use it for voice chat, but they actually want the Discord app to be on the Switch. So I just wanted us to kind of hit on this just a little bit. Like, is there a place for this? If so, why would it be good? If not, why would you not want it to be on Switch?
It would
For
be
me,
awkward. Go ahead.
yeah, for me, it just depends, because if the Switch can't run this in background with a voice chat, then there's absolutely no need for it, like, at all, in my opinion. Like, it defies the point of what Discord's there for. It just becomes a chat room, which, okay, we don't have those features on the Switch, but yeah, it doesn't do any. If he can't run the voice chat in the background, then he's completely pointless to me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I wouldn't want to use my Switch to chat in in Discord rooms because I have a hard time enough. I have a hard enough time doing it on the PC. Apparently, talking too, but on the using it on the PC, I wouldn't want to try it on the Switch. The only thing I could see that might be beneficial is, the app can show you what games other people are playing, on the PC. If they can do that with their Switch, saying this person's playing Mario Maker too, that might be cool. Don't know if there's any benefit to that, but might be cool.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like the what ifs outweigh the positives on this,
Yeah.
right? Because it is, I mean, the Switch is not a multitasking system. There's not a way to run Discord in the background. Now, if there is a way to do that and we just haven't seen it yet, then sure, bring it in. I'm just like, my mindset on the whole thing is the more apps and the more stuff that Switch can have on it, and I'm talking Hulu, Netflix, YouTube, all that stuff, Crunchyroll, Discord. If it can run it, why not? Right? I mean, make it a multi-purpose, multitasking system, and let people do what they want to with it instead of having to listen to over and over and over again. Why is Netflix not on the Switch? Why is this
Yeah,
not this, or why is this not that? We'll just put it on there.
I know a lot of people who's only use their Wii's for Wii Sports or Netflix, and they've used it up until the time when Nintendo cut it off.
Yeah.
So
And y'all gotta look
again,
y'all,
I would never do
the
it.
clock
but,
is ticking on that Wii U Netflix app. Come on,
yeah,
you
but
know it is.
I if I imagine it'll be on the Switch before they cut it off on the Wii U. Otherwise, that will piss people off. But yeah, I would never use Netflix on the Switch because I got 15,000 other devices that can do it on. But I'm sure some people would love it.
Yeah. Again, that's my point. Is why not? Like, it seems so easy.
Yeah,
It seems just like an easy thing to do.
just like
Just
Mario
do it.
Maker,
So
options.
Yeah, get the monkey off your back and just be done with it. I don't care who it is, if it's Netflix or Nintendo, just settle it and be done. I mean, and let people, if they want to gripe about, well, it doesn't work like I want it to, well, you asked for it. Here it is. Right?
It's kind of surprising that we live in a time where you can get a Santa tracker on the Switch, but not Netflix.
I saw that Santa tracker this week because it was on sale. I was going through the browsing the for sale games. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, obviously, it's not the optimal device for it. Like, just like it's not the optimal device for a web browser. The Wii U was not an optimal device for the web browser. We got that. We understand that. But it's always going to be like, as long as the icon is not on Switch, there's always going to be we could have Netflix.
Yeah, but bringing this background to Discord, I think it's a little bit different. Like Netflix would have a purpose to everyone, and it would fulfill its purpose very well. I think Discord on Switch would not fill its purpose. I think it'd actually be damaging to Discord because you don't have video calling on there. You don't have a camera. You don't have the voice chat in the background.
People are going to expect that if Discord comes to the Switch, that voice chat comes with it.
Yeah, I mean, us guys, we know exactly what the Switch entails. There's going to be people who aren't as in touch with what the Switch does and stuff, or Nintendo device in general. Like, you could get an Xbox guy who's bought a Switch casually. Oh, look, Discord's on it, and then finds out that it doesn't run in the background. And then what's the point? It damages Discord, damages the Switch. I think it's a bad idea. If it doesn't run background voice chat, then I don't think it should be on there at all.
Right. Well, I'm fine. I'm completely with you on that. If there's a way for that to happen, then let's see it and let's make it happen. But if not, keep trying to get Nintendo to let you be the voice chat app Discord, and maybe that'll work. Who knows? It probably won't. Let's wrap this up with some quick news about events. All right, guys, the Tetris 99 Maximus Cup begins today as you are listening to this show. It is the third Maximus Cup. Again, if you are in the top, I forget how many it is, you get 999 coins.
999 players gets 999
top 999 players get 999 coins. However, there's something for everybody this time, because if you manage to be able to earn 100 points over the course from May 17th through May 19th, before the Maximus Cup is over, you will earn yourself a free Game Boy Tetris theme for Tetris 99, which will be usable in, I guess, every mode. I don't know how themes work yet, so this is going to be interesting to see. And I hope this opens the floodgates, because Nintendo, hear me well, I will buy every single Tetris 99 theme you want to put out. I freaking love them. Let's go.
The themes item doesn't help very much yet when there's only one theme to choose from.
That's right. Doesn't tell you what it applies to or anything. Also, Pokemon Go events. Reminder that this coming Saturday, which is tomorrow when you hear this,
Sunday.
3 to 6, or Sunday, sorry, which again is a couple days from when you hear this.
Most community days are Saturdays, but for some reason this month is Sunday. I think August is a Sunday too. 3
to 6 p.m. local time is the May Community Day featuring Torchic. If you evolve Combuskin between 3 to 7 p.m., you will get a Blaziken that knows Blast Burn. Blaziken's one of my favorite Pokemons. I mean, it's literally fried chicken, guys. Also, there's an extraordinary raid week coming up May 21st through the 25th, or actually till the 28th. 1 p.m. to 1 p.m. Every event this event will feature different Pokemon and raids, including the possibility of a shiny Bronzor. May 22nd from 6 to 7 local time, you'll have an hour of increased raids in all tiers. And May 25th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. local time will feature Lapras raids with a chance to be shiny, and you can get up to 5 free raid passes when you spin the discs at gyms. That is all the events that are coming up. Also, don't forget this month, if you are a Mario Tennis Aces player, it's your month to get Dry Bones, I believe. So don't forget about Dry Bones.
That hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, I know. I think it's May.
Wow.
It's either, I may be a month off, and somebody can correct me, and I'll gladly say I'm wrong. But I think this month is Dry Bones, and that is the last character, I believe, that they've announced. I think there's more coming. I mean, it's the game that never ends. So anyway, let's move from this, and real quick, let's talk about what we've been playing. Gary, we'll start with you because you've been playing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I've put a couple of hours into my Switch, but other than that, not much. On last week's episode, I talked about a game called Swords of Ditto,
Right.
I continued playing that to the last boss, where the game continuously crashes every single time, so I can't beat the last boss.
Nice.
Um, I enjoyed the game up until the crashing. It's not the greatest Zelda clone out there, it has to be said, but I also didn't realize that the game was multiplayer. So I'll have to give that a try. The
I didn't know
developer,
that either.
yeah, it doesn't say anywhere on it, but I rewatched the trailer, and it's got multiplayer in. Also, to answer the question that me and Jesse gave ourselves last week about death in it, it looked like at one point there was a permadeath system that got removed. Because in the trailer for the Switch version, it says no more permadeath. So it looked like that was going to be a thing where if you died, you'd come back as a different hero and have to collect the sword again. Yeah, it looks like that just got removed. And so I messaged the developer and the publisher about why I can't complete the game, and found absolutely nothing and got nothing back. I eventually found myself that there was patch notes on one of the websites, or upcoming patch notes, and reported bugs and crashes and things. And it turns out that certain weaponry on the last boss, if you take them in and try to use them or have them equipped, they crash the game. So I'm just waiting for a patch for that now before I finish it. Like I said, it was okay. It's an okay little Zelda. I think there's better Zelda clones out there. But it'd be interesting to see what it's like on multiplayer, because I think that probably be its strongest point. But I haven't had a chance to play that yet. And other than that, I did the first level on Celeste, a game that I wanted to play for a long time, never got around to. So far, first impressions, yeah, it deserves those 10 out of 10s.
Awesome. Awesome. Uh, you're a little late to the party with Celeste, but
Oh, very
I'm
late.
so glad that you have played it because, man, it's what a ride. I love that game. And when you get in the zone of that game, you're in the zone. Like, you can feel it. You're like, yes, I'm doing right. I'm pressing the buttons when I should push the buttons.
Yeah, the
I'm
climb
doing all
mechanic
the
threw me off.
things.
The climb mechanic threw me off a few times because you have to hold L when you hit the walls, and yeah, I kept forgetting that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that if you don't do that, that's not good. Jesse, what have you been playing?
I haven't played much this week. The only thing new is I tried out the new modes in Tetris 99 that released last week. I did the 150 line mode and got to finish the 150, and those last 10 lines, they were like within 2 frames. They were from the top down to the bottom. They dropped
They're
almost
tough.
instantly. I made a little video and put it on Twitter showing it, and it was crazy. I don't even want to know what 999 looks like. Yeah, and
Hopefully, a lot slower
yeah,
than.
and then I did the the versus 98 CPUs, and they give you 5 possible difficulty settings. And there hasn't been a single game on level 1 through 3 that I didn't get first place. So really kind of boring. Level 4 is I think a little bit less in difficulty in what you'd play in real human versus human play. Level 5 it's probably going to feel very much like human versus human, but I haven't tried it yet. So I think the best I did with on level 4 is top 10ish. I don't remember. I only tried it once or twice, and I haven't tried level 5 yet. But if you want to boost in false self confidence, go ahead and play it in level 1 or 2, and then you'll get to see what winning it looks like.
I enjoyed the 150 line mode and the I guess the high score mode. Been having a lot of fun with that offline. I love Tetris is kind of like Bejeweled for me. Like I will pop back into Bejeweled on my iPad over and over and over, just as like I want to play a game but I don't want to think. So I'll play Bejeweled and it's just like it kind of just there's muscle memory and it comes natural. Tetris is the same way. Like it's kind of zen for me until like you said those last in the 150 mode the last like 30 lines they're a fight. They're tough, but I managed to clear 150 mode twice.
I've only tried it the one time, but I did clear it. I think
So
it took
I'm
8 minutes. It times you, and
yeah.
it'll save the best time.
Yeah, and then we'll upload it and have rankings right across the world, which is pretty
Does it?
cool.
I didn't see that. I should look into that again.
You can look at rankings, yeah. Um, I've been playing Steam World Quest still. I'm really enjoying this game. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, guys. I think this is the best Steam World game.
I think so.
I think it just does everything right. The characterization is good, the humor's there, it's beautiful, beautiful game, fun story, combat works. So far it's not boring. I love it.
yeah, I would
I,
agree with that statement.
I just don't know what else I can say about it. But I've also been playing,
Yeah.
as of today, the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, which dropped today at 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. Eastern Time, whatever it was for you. This is the Konami Collection, the second of the three collections that they've had coming out. The first one, of course, was the Arcade Collection. The one following this is the Contra Collection, which I'm super excited about. They haven't even revealed all the games in it. But this Castlevania collection is the sweet spot. Like, it is the best Castlevania. Like, I know people are gonna, like, I crap all over Symphony of the Night, but I hate it. It's not uh, that style of Castlevania. I don't like it. Like, pretty Victorian vampires. I don't like. But now these games,
Do they sparkle?
these don't, no, they don't sparkle. They just are, they just try to be Metroid clones. Um, I love Castlevania 1, 2, and 3, and 4 for the Nintendo family of systems. It has Castlevania Bloodlines on it, which is a Genesis game I never got to play enough of. It's got the first two Game Boy games on it. And then out of nowhere, it's got Kid Dracula on it for the NES, which has never been available in the United States. And it's even translated into English,
Is it?
which
Nice.
shows that it's localized. But now Konami has also announced that there is an oncoming patch or an upcoming patch that will allow you to play the Japanese versions of these games if you choose to. And that's pretty significant in and of itself for a couple of reasons. Number one, Jesse has talked all the time here on the show about how Famicom versions of games have superior sound and have different layers of music. What some people don't realize, and this is in the included ebook that you get with this game as well, that Konami actually developed its own special proprietary chip for Castlevania 3 that was only used in Japan, which allowed it to have richer sound effects. And the game, it just adds so much to it. You can go look at a YouTube video of this, and I love the fact that I'm finally going to get to be able to play this legally, I might add. Finally get to play this in a legal way. This is a well-done collection. I know people are going to ask about this, so I'm going to mention it. Is there multiple display options? Absolutely. You can go original, pixel perfect with scan lines, 16 by 9, 16 by 9 with scan lines.
But why would you
And-
want to do that? Ew.
Right. I mean, there's 4x3 with scan lines. You can do that. There's save states. There, you can go in and see the controls. And again, all of these games are on there. It's Castlevania 1, 2, 3, Super Castlevania 4, Castlevania Bloodlines, Castlevania Adventure 2, Belmont's Revenge, and Kid Dracula. So 8 games plus the ebook, which has interviews and art and the history of Castlevania, including a timeline of how you can play the games in their like event order for $20. It is a steal of a deal, especially if you've never, and I don't know who's never done this. Like, if you've never played these Castlevania games, you owe it to yourself to go retro and buy this. I cannot recommend this enough.
Well,
And I'm
the other
like,
4 outside of like the Nintendo Core 4, I've never played before.
right. Yeah. And so There is a collection coming later on that I think collects those. Like there's going to be one with Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night and different things like that.
PlayStation and the DS games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The TurboGrafx game. I don't know if it's going to be that one or the one we got on Super Nintendo, which is a mess. And you won't hear me say this often, but like this collection is to me is a better collection than the Mega Man Legacy collection. Mega Man Legacy collection just has very weird design choices and annoying stuff. This is perfect. Like it's wonderful. Why are you not downloading it right now? If you are not downloading it right now, you're on the list. I don't know. Like I hope if you love 2D platformers and side scrollers like Castlevania 3, one of the best platforming side scrollers ever made. Super Castlevania 4, the best Castlevania game ever made. Game Boy, throw them in the garbage, but play them anyway, just so you can see how bad Castlevania Adventure is. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. But I'm looking forward to that patch, and Kid Dracula is even fun. I'm looking forward to playing through it. And
how's Simon's Quest?
It's Simon's Quest. Yeah, you need a video walkthrough to even know what to do at the very beginning of the game because they couldn't be bothered to pay somebody to translate it right. But that's okay. It's still Simon's Quest. You can still play it. I'm looking forward to actually going through it. Now that I'm older and can figure things out.
Yeah, I've been wanting to replay
that game for a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So that is what we've been playing. Let's dip right into the community spotlights. All right, guys. This week on our community spotlight, we're going to highlight some of your questions and comments from Patreon. And again, you can send these in at any time. You don't have to wait till Thursday. You can send us a message on Patreon or email us at nintendodads@gmail.com. You can call in. There's a number we'll drop at the end of the show that you can call in and leave a voicemail, or you can tweet at us and we will talk to you that way as well and include you in the show. Our first question tonight comes from Digital Age Gaming. This is from Patreon. Here's what he said. He said, touching on a question I asked last week about third-party games having performance mode, a dev team I'm close to, Killhouse Games, who are porting one of their games to the Switch, were the ones who actually posed the question. At the moment, the Switch has a core that is used for nothing. It lays dormant. Going by the obviously quickly done port of Saints Row III, developers need to be encouraged to fully use all tools available and use the strengths of the Switch to its fullest. It also requires Nintendo/NVIDIA to actually unlock the unused core. LOL. Yeah, I did not know that.
I did not know that either. Makes me wish I had a dev kit so I could know things like this.
Yeah, so there is a core inside the Switch that is not being used. It is not unlocked. It'll probably be unlocked when we pay an extra $100 for the Nintendo Switch Pro. Right?
Yep. That's where Discord will run on.
Yeah, that's the Discord core. I wonder which one it is. Is it like the Space Core or is it Wheatley?
Space.
Some of y'all get that. That's one of my favorite games of all time. I hope it's the Space Core. I would love my Switch just to talk to me like that all the time. Digital Age Gaming also says this. He says, although we do not know the software release schedule for next year for Switch, however, is there a case for Nintendo to hold back one or two titles until next year so we don't have a 2018 again where Nintendo, quote, shot their load in 2017 and then filled 2018 with Wii U ports? Gary, I'm going to throw that one to you because you were not a fan of Nintendo in 2018.
What? No? What?
You just said it wasn't the greatest year for you.
No, the start of it wasn't great. I enjoyed the later half, but the first half was a little bit slow to me. I mean, I don't think they really did anything in January, February, if I remember right. And they released Tropical Freeze.
Yep.
And then Kirby, which was a new game, just not my taste. So it wasn't a case of it being bad in terms of releases. It just wasn't really anything for me. I mean, I was a Wii U owner who generally doesn't buy games again. If I've owned it before and there's a port, unless it's a really enhanced port, I won't buy them again. Um, I I think they could hold games back because this year is pretty jam-packed full anyway, and I don't think it's a case of them just holding them back so they'll have as many ports next year. I think it's literally a case of they would be fighting with themselves and dooming the sales on both games if they release too close. So I don't know. I mean, business is business. There's going to be a time slot and a place for everything, and if they have to hold things back, they have to hold things back. But I mean, we're going to see more ports. I'm sure of it.
Oh, sure.
Because especially with the next generation of consoles looming, the Switch is going to be definitely. I mean, I don't mind either. Like stuff like Skyrim, the first time you can play portably is the best. Rocket League, Minecraft, they're all great places to play those games, and they're pretty much all ports. So
here's the deal. Speaking on ports, I feel like there's some that Nintendo is just like they're probably just sitting on. Like if you look at the level of detail that they're putting into 3D World and Mario Maker 2,
yeah,
for us not to get a 3D World port at some point is a criminal, like a criminal offense. It's coming. But the thing is, y'all, is they're running out of Wii U ports, right? Like after they do Mario 3D World, what do they have left? Game and Wario and Wonderful
Pikmin.
101, Pikmin. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm with Gary. I normally don't rebuy the games I've bought on Wii U, but I think Pikmin 3 I would rebuy. Mainly to see what they do with the controls, because the motion control, I think, is the best way to play that game. But I don't like them doing pseudo motion control with the Switch Joy-Con. So
Right.
I want to know what they plan on doing.
It's
to make that
it's going to
workable.
be gyro control. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Which is not ideal for Pikmin. It's
Right.
And if you wonder why, this is my theory. If you're wondering why we've not seen a Pikmin on the Switch yet, it's because they're still trying to figure out the best control scheme.
Yeah.
They're still jumping that hurdle.
Because Tomorrow Corporation has tried it. The World of Goo port. The 7 billion humans, where it's Wii Remote like, but it's very ghosty, and you have to reset it every 2 minutes. So may not be good for a Pikmin game unless they really find a way to clean that up.
No, I mean Pikmin was traditionally, at the start of its life was a normal controls. I think it'd be perfectly fine just going back to that. Yeah, it is a tough question though with the ports and stuff, because there is actually still I'm going to disagree with you here, Marty, because I think there's still a lot of Wii U stuff that can come over, including remasters that got done on the Wii U as well.
I mean, yeah, I'm just pointing out that like the ones that people want, right, are really going to want. They're probably a handful now, right? I mean, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, everybody's going to want that. Let's be honest.
I double dip on those too.
I would double dip on those. Mario 3D World, everybody wants that. Pikmin 3.
2 more vouchers gone. Boom.
Look, and what I'm saying is I've mentioned 4 games there, and we've pretty much run down what's left in the Wii U catalog.
Yeah, there's not too much, and I think that the 3D World will eventually come to it. My question is, if 3D World does come, are they going to eventually unlock those 3D World levels in Captain Toad then?
I think that's why they're there.
Yeah, I mean, normally if someone gets cut from a game, it gets left in and just blocked off.
Yeah.
So I could see that being the reason why, but at the same time, they're completely capable of unlocking those.
Yeah, and what Gary's referring to, if you haven't heard this week, is that YouTube, a guy on YouTube found the 3D World levels that were removed, quote unquote, from Captain Toad, just sitting there through some data mining. It would be very easy to remove a few lines of code or modify a few lines of code, and all of a sudden those show back up in the list again. I think they got left in for a reason. I think it'd be a little bit of a cross promotion because look, it helps 3D World and it helps Captain Toad. It puts it back on the radar, right?
Hmm.
Because they say, hey, look, it's Mario 3D World where Captain Toad first started. Play the beginning and then carry over and play these 3D World levels in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, Captain Toad's in a weird place where like if you're talking about canon, yeah, I mean, come on, that's pointless with Mario, but where exactly does it fit then? Because it's like at the start of 3D World, but I think somewhere around,
Well,
you know,
there's a lot of Mario canon. They shoot out bullet bills.
yeah. So it's a bit strange.
Ha ha.
You're welcome.
Ha ha. Let's, I mean, I don't even know how to recover from that dad joke. Um, let's move on to another comment here. Joseph says there are so many games worth playing on the Switch. Do you guys feel the need to complete all the games you play, or do you find you get your money's worth by simply playing a good amount of the game, even if not completing it?
I think I've mentioned this in it's like several years ago. So if you're a newer listener, you probably wouldn't have heard it. But yeah, I am a person who once I start getting frustrated in the game, it goes away. So and that could be 50 hours in, like Persona Q. It could be 15 minutes in, like Final Fantasy 15. I didn't buy that one. That was a rental, thank God. But so this, I just if I'm not having fun, there's another game that I can be playing that I can have fun with. So it's not worth it to me to like choke through it and just grind on just for the sake of grinding on to say I finished it. It's not worth it to me. Back when I had more time, less money, and more patience, maybe. But now that's not that's I play what I up until I'm sick of it, and then I'll go on to the next game.
Gotcha.
For me, it's a tricky one because I have no time at the minute. So I haven't played games for the last couple of weeks. I like to complete games. I don't 100% everything. Like I did Xenoblade Chronicles 1. There was no way I was going to do all the side quests on that. But this is a strange question because if I wasn't doing Nintendo shows and I didn't own the Nintendo website, then I would be finishing games before I brought another one. Um, one of the strengths and weaknesses to doing creating content and reviewing and covering games is that sometimes you'll have a game and you think I'm gonna sit down and complete this, and then you'll get bombarded with review codes or requests or whatever it might be, events, stuff like that, and they fall off the wayside. And Skyrim's a classic example of that for me. I got Skyrim the Christmas that it came out, so that's first year of the Switch, and I played about 20 hours of it and never managed to get back around to playing it. Same with Dark Souls as well, and it's because of being bombarded with review requests and stuff like that. And you'll find that sometimes you play games that you necessarily wouldn't look twice at. You will take a code to review because it's there and the developer's been nice enough to send you one, and it's only fair to do coverage of. But sometimes you play games that you absolutely have no interest in. So from a creator's point of view, no, you can't possibly complete the games. I mean, if you're doing a review, you should complete the game for a review. But if you're just creating coverage, then that's a little different. So it just depends on that really. With such a tight schedule,
this isn't any of our full-time jobs. So we have a full-time job on top of our hobby journalist, thing, which includes gaming with whatever's time is left.
Yeah.
Yep. If you wonder sometimes why things don't get out at the same time other news outlets do, or we're not as on top of things as maybe you think we could be, it's because we travel, we work, we have families, we do other things. So it does pile up, and I'm not using that as an excuse. but it
Right,
does pile up.
but like using Game Explain as an example, Andre and Bitnerd, that is their job. That is their full
Yeah.
time job. They do nothing else. Ash has a job on the side, so it's kind of a part time thing for him. And I don't know about Tom and the others, but definitely they're doing that. That is their job, and it's not
No, I got
ours.
you. I got you. I mean that, and that's part of it. For me, for my answer for this, like there are games that I feel obligated to finish. I don't always because it's always kind of like it's on to the next thing, or I've played this and um, the interest to it, like I get to a certain point, I either finish it, and there's other stuff I could go back to and do, but it cools off for me, and I end up not doing it, or I don't have time. Like Night in the Woods, there's like I think John Blanco over on Discord used a term this week, and you heard me use it toward the start of the show, or maybe it was during the pre-show audio. He was talking about a game, and he said that at the end of it, it felt like an absolute death march. Like he was invested, so he wanted to see how it ended. He needed to know what happened, but he really just did not enjoy playing the game, but he wanted to finish it. And for me, that was like a great example of that recently for me was SteamWorld Heist. Like I'd got invested in the story and I wanted to see what happened, but those last like maybe five like things that you do in the campaign, I was just not invested in at all. It was like, let me go in and do what I got to do to get through this. Oh, I didn't get all the stars. Well, who flipping cares? Let's move on. Let's finish the game. It's kind of how I feel about Night in the Woods. I just haven't forced myself to go back and finish it yet. But yes, I mean, there are times that I feel like I need to dig into my backlog. It just doesn't always happen because there is good stuff coming out. Like I'm always going to be, there's not a week that goes by where I don't wrestle with, I should really finish this game, but I want to play Enter the Gungeon,
Yeah.
or something like that. Like I want to finish this game, but this new one just came out. I need to check it out. Case in point, Katana Zero. I love Katana Zero. I think it's fantastic. I need to finish it, but other stuff has come out, and so now I need to finish it. Now there's another in the backlog.
And then last week when we talked about Heist, I bought it, but haven't had any chance to try to playing it again.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm not trying to take anything away from the game. It's just like at the very end, it was a little bit of a slog for me. Let's move on to our last question here from Cat Janitor. He says, this Mario Maker 2 hype. I've got a question for the dads. Are you more of a maker or a masochist freak who likes playing levels that others make? I tend to be more of a maker. I have way more fun showing off my creations than playing an endless stream of mediocre levels. Hopefully Nintendo implements more curation this time around. So which one are you guys, maker or player?
I am lousy at making levels. I've made a few in the first game. I think I might have made 3 or 4 levels total. I spent most of my time playing.
Yeah, I spent most of my time playing. I think I did one really good level, which self-confessed really good. I don't know what other people thought of it. Level on the Wii U, which is kind of where I got talking to Paul Lloyd, who we spoke about earlier. I sent him that level across. I enjoy the making levels when I do it. It just takes so much time that I just prefer to just play the game instead. But fair play to anyone who's really good at the making, who enjoys that more than playing the levels, because it does take time and it is a craft. And regardless of how easy you think it is to build a level on a grid-based system, it is insanely hard.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember we did a little friendly competition when I was still on a podcast called Reactor Radio with Nintendo Dads. And it was y'all build a level, we'll build a level, we'll send it, we'll see which one is more difficult. We'll see if we can stump the other person. We'll see which one has less completions. And I worked really, really hard on a level that I was proud of, that I thought was pretty dang tough.
Didn't we have a
and it
Hammer
was
Brother in a Lakitu Cloud or some bull crap like that?
There was a point in the level where you had to collect a Buzzy Beetle shell on your head and save it until the end of the level so that you could get through two Hammer Brothers who were in blocks that you could not jump to make it through to get to the goal.
I knew it had something to do with the Hammer Brothers because
there was also a troll section where if you went in the door that the P block made, it took you to a room filled with chompy plants and no way out. Yeah,
Marty, I had much more respect for you before the start of this podcast.
Oh, you can play it sometime. I'll show it to you. I hope they pour it over because that'll be so. And I enjoyed, like, I was balanced. Like at the very first, like, I just wanted to make because, like, I started and I was like, the ideas kept coming and I would try something out but now it's like I just want to play levels. And when I log on to Mario Maker to play levels, the only thing that's there are those super tough, precise. You have to bounce off things and get through and I'm like, that's not, no, like, just for fun levels really exist anymore. It's all about skill and puzzles and stuff like that. And, like, I just make a good Mario level, make a fun Mario level and play it. So, like, when I start making with Mario Maker 2, that's going to be my aim, is like the more it feels like a level that could be included in a Mario game, the better. Now, I still want to make a couple of fun trick levels and stuff like that, but my favorite level that I'm most proud of was called Fear the Walking Dead. And it started out, and I'd, like, built houses out of wood blocks in the Mario 3 theme, and it was all underground and, like, had Goombas in the houses, and there was a bridge, and at the end there I'd made a factory, and everything. And you get to the end, and you go through a pipe, and you come out in another underground level. And now all of the Goombas are like the ghosts, that travel along the ground that pop up. And there's, like, booze everywhere. And all the Koopa Troopas are now dry bones, and stuff's on fire and all kinds of stuff. And it has, like, creepy music playing and everything. I was really proud of that level. Yeah, it's like a mirror copy. So I think there's plenty to do. I think you can be both, is what I'm trying to say. I find myself being more of both. I like to make, but I like to play.
Yeah, that reminded me of a level that I saw several years ago, and I think when Nintendo showed quick little clips at the start of the Direct, they included something very similar to this. I don't think it was exactly the same thing, but they, like, built this robot that actually moved, where it had, like, the Karibo shoes alt.
Yes, you can build the robot.
Connected to cannons to make it be a body, and then connected to Chain Chomp's arms, and then there was Baby Bowser in the cockpit. It was crazy.
Yeah. There's a ton of interesting things you can do that are going to be a lot of fun to see when Mario Maker 2 drops. Well, guys, that is episode 230 of the show. We want to thank you for hanging out with us for all of our Mario Maker talk and a whole lot more. We hope we see you next week for episode 231. But before we go, we want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Chris Mears, John Blanco, Dave Ernsberger, and Timothy Off. And all of our patrons, we want to say thank you to you for making the dream work and for donating and being part of Discord and sending in your comments and questions, participating in Monthly Mayhem. Don't forget to vote for that, by the way. It is Downwell versus Skelly Cellist. And you can submit your Cuphead scores before the 18th as well over at the Monthly Mayhem channel on Discord. And hey, guys, we're now available on Spotify. So if you want to listen to us, you're now on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. Go over and favorite and subscribe on there. And while you're at it, if you would mind leaving us on Google Play, on Apple, on the podcast, leaving a 5-star review and some written words, that helps other people find us, and we are super thankful for that. You can head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads to support us. Follow us on social media at Nintendo Dads. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever social media is at, YouTube, Twitch. You can email us at nintendodads@gmail.com. call in and leave us a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. And if you want some sweet Nintendo Dads merchandise, tiny.cc/Nintendo Dad store. You get t-shirts, phone cases, duvet covers, mugs, stickers, all kinds of stuff. It's all there for you. Go and show supporting us, find some other. Big thanks to OC for the music used throughout the show. And thanks to Adam Leonard and Carter Johnson for all the sweet artwork they do for us. For me, for Gary, and for Jesse, this has been episode 230 of Nintendo Dad. Bye-bye.
Meowsers.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Pew, 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 pew.